Hello, and welcome to this week's episode. Nope, sorry, it's the pilot. It's the first episode. Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of You Don't Even Know. I'm your host today, Josiah Brainerd.
With Justin Brainerd.
And Jordan Brainerd.
And we're going to be going over some stuff that, well, you don't even know. Our first topic is, what is the proper hug length?
Proper hug length.
Yes. So if I go to, I'm married, if I go to hug my wife, what is the proper hug length before it's like, okay, this was way too short. I need more hug. Way too long.
Well, when I hug my wife, I prefer to suffocate her and until she begs me to stop and tries to run away. Really, when the other person becomes uncomfortable, I think it's just barely enough. Like if it's grounds for physical assault, if you're not married to this person, I think that's just the right amount.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you have a guy-to-guy hug, like where it's two dudes going up to hug each other, like two
Best kind of hug.
yeah, where it's like, okay, you already don't want to be touching at all because hugging is gay. So I mean,
That's why I believe if you're gonna go hug a guy, you just gotta really go for it, embrace it.
But that's more of a
that
chest
it's a little
bump.
gay,
Like,
and just like throw a little butt squeeze in there.
no, see, you literally have this tiny little window of like affectionate, like you're trying to show the guy like you actually care about him.
Sup, brah?
Yeah, like it's not an arm punch. Like when you actually
bump.
give a guy a hug, like, or let's say when you're single and
How's that, Jordan?
Yeah.
So far, so good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good progress.
Yeah.
And so Jordan, if you go up to a girl that you're not dating and you give her a hug,
all of them.
what's the length of that hug?
About that long.
About that long?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
three
two breaths.
three heartbeats.
Three. That's no, not three. 2 heartbeats.
So
Yeah.
let's do that. So from right now,
There.
wow, that was a long hug.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
3
you're
is too
brave.
long.
Okay. So
2 is pushing it.
So a 2-second hug is like on the virtual cusp of societal normalcy, with you wrapping your arms around some unwanting female that's trying to pull away from you at any second. Well,
what about when, like because obviously you can't always go 3 seconds, you know? Sometimes you do the hug, you perform that first step of, initiating hug time. And then, the girl, like, with half a second in, she starts to, open her arms and, like, go.
Yeah, she
to
releases
exit
the
hug
hands
time.
off your back. It's that little release.
Do you just leave it up to the girl at that point? Like, I'm not going to, like, sit here and stay locked in to 2.5 more seconds of this when she's clearly done.
Oh, you
yeah, like,
release.
what if she's fat?
You release.
Okay, just like...
You're a big girl.
So, but yeah, because now my favorite. So, if she,
Oh gosh, I was so happy that happened so early. That was so good.
if she's like, I'm trying to compose myself.
I know, like, what was I saying?
Like I prefer the time-honored standard of pat release, which is akin to fishing, in that you basically walk up to her, side hug first. No boobs to boobs hugging if you're not super good friends ever. You walk up, you side hug, pat release, which means I have zero attraction to you whatsoever. And then there is no awkwardness at all.
I've heard that they don't like the pat.
Me
because
too.
It's weird, and
It's
they're
like demeaning. They're like, what am I, your dog?
yeah, what am I, your pet or your
don't
granddaughter?
pat.
So I whack him over the back of the head twice and then just walk away. Mm-hmm.
Give him a firm grab
Mm-hmm.
on the arm.
On the tuchus.
Yeah, the tuchus, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
My
You guys are
favorite
talking about your wives now.
yes.
Yes.
my favorite hug is the old people receiving palliative care when you go into like a resting home and they're like, hey, hello, young man, give me a hug. And like 3/4 of their left arm is missing. And they're like begging for you to hug their like cirrhosis ridden like nub. And you're like, I would love to hug you, but I have to be anywhere else on the planet.
No, they've already got a grasp on you, though. They have already got you in their sights and in one of their arms.
Well, let's do a scenario where they have no arms.
Well, how would you hug a torso, Jordan?
You kind of just have to go in slowly
Like
to
do you
make
wrap
sure
your-
there is a torso there.
like you wrap your arms
And
around
it's
them?
not just a floating head and
Yeah,
a shirt.
it's not just this head and like this mechanical body, and then you kind of wrap around slowly, carefully, and then you hug,
And then
you're
boom,
like,
their arms pop out. They were just joking you the whole time. Okay, let's do another hug scenario. This one primarily applies to Jordan because I have no expertise in this situation. Let's pretend that Jordan is single. And
let's
yeah.
pretend that.
We're going to pretend
This is a
right now.
hypothetical world.
Yep.
No one loves you.
You are going to go hug. There's two women. You're doing the like hug through the crowd, and there's two women. One is single, and one is married. Who gets the longer hug?
Definitely the single girl,
Yeah.
unless she pulls away.
Well, no. This is a scenario where we're taking out the variable of the girl pulling away.
Oh,
They,
okay.
they will hug you as long as you want.
Definitely the single girl,
Yeah.
just out of principle and respect.
Yeah, just stay
And
away from the other dude's
fear.
wife because he'll pretty much just kill you.
Yeah.
Since anybody on this planet is bigger than you, I'm pretty sure you'll die if there's the wrong implication given, even unintentionally.
Yeah. And,
So-
most of the time, the single girl is more accepting.
Well, what if she's fat?
She's still single. You didn't. There was no.
We are assuming that these girls are, just anamorphous blobs at this point. They were not given any
Yeah.
Okay,
features.
so they're
They're like Slimer, basically.
They're just,
This-
this is some girl.
they're dittos. If two female ditto Pokemon,
One happened to be married. One's not married.
yeah,
The only difference is there's a ring that I noticed on one of them.
you're like, oh,
I mean, if Jinx walked up, I would. So moving on from that segment. So moving on from that question to a segment I like to call "What app is Josiah playing this week?" My brother Justin can attest to the fact that I never play the same iOS game for more than a month.
ever. You are the serial dater of iOS apps.
Yeah,
you are the least monogamous human being as it pertains to apps ever.
The longest app I've probably played for that I still have on my phone and touch, because there's a lot on here that I don't even touch anymore. Like freaking Boom Beach is terrible. So last month, Boom Beach probably was the longest running one actually.
And what would Boom Beach do?
What would Boom Beach do? Like
Yeah.
how do you play Boom
How
Beach?
do you do Boom Beach?
How do you do Clash of Clans?
So Boom Beach is Clash of Clans.
Boom Beach is Clash of Clans, but better. For anyone that doesn't know, Clash of Clans is not as good as Boom Beach.
Clash of Clans sucks, actually.
Yeah.
They're trying to make Clash of Clans right now like Boom Beach just because Clash sucks.
Yeah, it's not as good.
Yeah, if anybody out there likes Clash of Clans, it's not a good app.
Go get Boom Beach, it's better.
Just objectively on
Yeah.
every measure.
I mean, if you don't know what these games are, I mean, odds are you do.
You've
because,
been living in a hole for the past 9 years.
I mean, they've been on top of the App Store for like literally 3 years now.
Yeah.
So if you haven't touched them yet, you probably should.
On a
So
scale of-
I traded out last month. I traded out Boom Beach for Clash Royale. Did that for a couple of weeks. and
what
then
was good about Clash Royale?
I
Why'd you-
enjoyed Clash Royale. It was a simple card game in the sense that you got to like build your deck, but it wasn't just a card game. It had an element of a board game as well. You got to actually place these cards on the battlefield, and they would interact with each other, which is kind of a nice twist on how to do a card game.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting dynamic where you only had the opportunity to gain or lose points when you chose to. It wasn't like Clash of Clans where people would just like raid your town and you'd wake up with half as many skill points as when you left.
Yeah, it was nice to be able to choose.
You're like, well,
I'm good right here for a minute.
you literally have to consent to being attacked, and you're ready for it.
I'm just gonna sit here and chill, collect free chests for about a week, and try to get this sweet card I've been waiting for.
Yeah, coming back to my beach and it being just destroyed.
Yeah, it'd just be
That's-
cleaned out like
that's
pretty much
never a
any
fun
time you
feeling.
logged in.
What else do you know about Boom Beach, Jordan?
Yeah,
And I know a little bit. I know a little bit.
yeah.
Not as much as you guys. But
Okay.
enough to carry along.
Yeah, enough
conversation.
to pretend that he's part of this.
Yeah.
No, I think Clash Royale has been wonderfully made. Now, my favorite thing about Clash Royale is that you could actually play it. It's one of the few apps, as there are more gaining steam with this every day, that you could actually play while standing up or walking around because it's vertically oriented. And, you know, everybody complains about vertical video, but
Oh my gosh.
when you have a vertical game, you could literally
That's one of my
play it.
triggers right there. Don't even say that.
I apologize, but the vertical video game is literally meant to be played with one hand and one thumb.
Oh yeah,
which is
I mean that's what the purpose of vertical video is because you're lazy and you don't want to film it in a format
okay. Well,
that
there,
other people are.
there
gonna
you go.
enjoy.
With the vertical video game, you could play. I mean, literally while you're doing anything else, while you're at the store. But if you look at the vertical video games, like you have one-handed keyboards, okay, and then you have this where you can engage the game and you don't have to be sort of in front of it with both hands face down the whole time.
And like if you're at work, like playing a game, if it's a sideways game, people they're like, well, he's playing a game over there.
He's not doing
Exactly.
anything productive in sideways.
But you could
Sideways
be
is
text.
never productive.
No.
You could be
No one
just
texts
texting your boss.
sideways.
You
Or
could
like
be
checking
doing
your emails or everything is vertical. Everything business
Yes.
oriented is vertical.
So just on that basis alone,
Yeah. If you
Clash
wanna
Royale
play
really
games
gets some
at work,
points.
Clash Royale is the game for you.
Yeah.
But this month, just got it. Probably last week. Plants versus Zombies Heroes, I believe it's called.
I don't have that one.
Yeah, you don't have that. It's the cutting edge. You gotta keep with it. It's another card game because apparently I'm into those right now. But it's based on Plants vs Zombies, and you could either be a plant or you could be a zombie. And there is you could be different heroes within each of those two categories, and then each hero has two I don't even know what they're called, like classes within it, like smart and strong, or explosive and strong, or whatever, a mix of the
Does it play like Clash Royale? Like, is it just like a strategy game where you play cards? Or does it play
yes.
like Hearthstone?
It's probably in between the two. The cards don't actually like walk down the field like in Clash Royale, but when you play it, usually you can move it around on the field with different effects and stuff, but usually it stays in the same spot, but it does interact with the game board. The game board is actually more of a thing than Hearthstone.
Okay, so it's not really a true like a battle RTS like Clash Royale. It's slower paced. It's closer to like a card battle game.
Yeah. And it's very nice because you can battle in the arena against other people like live, or there is like missions that are like the story mode for the plants and the story mode for the zombies. And
Because the Plants vs Zombies itself, you're just placing things onto a board and they
Yeah.
interact with the board.
yeah, that's
Like that-
that's pretty similar to what it is.
Okay, so it's like
But you
Plants
build a
vs
deck.
Zombies.
You build a deck
With a
of
deck.
cards.
So you
and
build
they-
a Yu-Gi-Oh deck.
Yeah, well,
Oh
or
my gosh.
Plants vs Zombies, you had a deck of plants that you were going to use. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much just trying to appeal to card games, but it's mostly a repackaged Plants vs Zombies.
Yeah.
Okay. I was almost interested until I figured out that it's like the same thing.
One thing that is different.
How is it
about-
not Plants vs Zombies?
I haven't played Plants vs Zombies in a long enough time to not really remember the differences. But anyway,
It was a tower defense game.
Pretty interesting about this is when you're in a match, each turn, zombies play cards, and then plants play cards, and each card is worth like energy, and you have your own stock of energy. So the first round you have 1 energy, the second round you have 2 energy, and so
So
on.
it's magic.
Yeah. And then after the plants get their turn to play their cards, the zombies get to play tricks. which are just cards that have the word trick in them. And then you go to the battle stage. So the zombies kind of have a bit of an advantage there, but I'm sure they've at least attempted
I'm sure
to
plants
balance it
have
out.
something else that's equivalent. Like, it's not like zombies are the only ones that have tricks.
Well, they don't. So zombies play, then plants play, then zombies play again, and then battle. So zombies get to go. They get to go before and after the plants.
Well, have you played this as both species? Like,
Yeah.
And zombies go twice no matter what.
Yeah, it's like you could see it in the like rotation. It says like zombies, and you could see like the steps of the turn.
Maybe plants just have like they better
have,
have like higher
better
hit points
cards.
or something. Yeah, and zombies get to
Yeah,
do it twice.
I'm sure it seems well balanced. Like I'm able to win as both pretty easily right now. At least I'm still in the level 6 bronze league.
I just downloaded it.
Yeah.
Nice. I think that's a good thing. Look at that. You're welcome, Plants vs Zombies. I'll take my
Encouraging
cut.
trial.
Yeah, so that's what I'm playing this week.
Well, I'm sure we'll have to all try that and see how terribly boring and like what a haphazard.
Yeah, Justin hates all good things. By the way,
Not everything.
everything that's like cool and good and like fun.
Yeah, it's Clash Royale meets Hearthstone meets
Yeah.
Magic.
Drink
Wait.
your haterade.
Yeah.
Justin
Reskinned
does the
Plants
video
vs. Zombie.
game hater like Josiah does TV show hater.
Oh my gosh. You know what's the worst TV show ever right now?
What's the worst TV show?
I don't even know what it's called. It's so bad. What's it called, Jordan?
I don't
Once.
know.
It's called Once.
No,
There's-
not
Once
that one.
is the
That
worst.
one was the worst like 6 months ago.
It still is.
Josiah
It's
did
that
end up
freaking
watching that.
stupid Netflix show that everybody's watching right now.
Oh, Black Mirror.
Nope. Go again. Hit me again.
Crack
Stranger Things.
Mirror.
Stranger Things. That's it. Thank
Stranger
you.
Things is
Thinking of Stranger
amazing.
Things.
I knew. Nope. It's terrible.
Have you seen it?
Haven't watched an episode,
No.
but it's the
Stranger
worst.
Things.
I don't even know what it's about.
Stranger Things is
This
a
is Josiah's
wonderful
MO
homage
of just-
to everything that ever happened in the 80s. Like,
Well, the 80s were stupid.
you weren't born.
Josiah's thing is to walk into a TV show that I'm watching and say immediately that it's
This is
stupid,
stupid.
and then 2 months later he's like,
Dude,
Hey.
it's totally hooked.
I'm watching this new show. I'm like,
awesome.
that's the show I've been
Literally
watching.
Never done that before in my life.
You did that with like 5 shows.
Name 5.
Breaking Bad,
1.
Once Upon a Time.
2.
I can't remember.
You got
the other one.
nothing.
Yeah, there's at
Soon to
least
be
two.
Stranger Things.
Nope.
Yeah, soon
not
to be
gonna watch it.
Stranger
It's
Things.
the worst.
Yeah, we'll come back after Josiah's watched Stranger Things.
That brings us perfectly into our next segment. What great movie does Justin hate this week? Hunger Games.
Okay, so Hunger Games feigns to be a great movie. Like
So good.
Okay,
Love it.
Have you ever seen Twilight?
I've seen the first and pieces throughout, but
I've
it's
seen all
Twilight
of
is
them.
Okay.
the worst.
So we could all universally agree that Twilight is unwatchable hot garbage. Okay? But
depends
Except for
on who
that
you're
Cullen guy. Love his shiny skin.
like, at the very least, you have Twilight that's claiming to be what? A love story between a vampire and Kirsten Stewart, who I guess is also a zombie or something.
It's
so
like
she's a vampire.
Underworld that's not good.
Yeah, it's not good Underworld.
Yeah.
And Kate
P.S.
Beckinsale looks like a
There's
cow.
an Underworld movie coming out next year, if
Yeah.
anyone didn't know that.
God bless Underworld.
Mm.
So, but you have that movie, and it's claiming to be a love story between a terrible actor and a terrible actress, and it delivers. You're like, oh my gosh, this unremarkable, sparky little.
But see, I'm going to
sparkly
disagree
gremlin.
with you right there. It's not claiming to be that. Like people actually enjoy this movie as like a good film. They're like, wow, hey guys, guess what I just watched? I totally just watched the Twilight movie. Wow, I'm so excited about that movie because it was so good.
Oh, Team Jacob.
Hashtag Team Edward because Jacob sucks.
Hey, but it still gave you all the component parts of what it wanted to be, which was vampires fighting. They love each other. They have a dead person.
I could say that exact
has a
same thing
baby
about Hunger Games.
who was
You're
alive.
not selling me.
So okay, but at least in the Hunger Games,
Hunger Games is
what
amazing.
what is the premise of Hunger Games? As Twilight is vampires versus werewolves with two people that love each other and some tacit relationship that leads to a baby. Like at the very least, in Hunger Games, the very premise is battle and killing, and it's called The Hunger Games, which is about like killing.
Did you watch the first? There was a lot of
bunch
killing in
young
that
kids.
movie.
No, there was like 2 minutes of actual combat. Okay, you had like 300 minutes in that film, no exaggeration. Of everybody walking.
Are we talking
around
about all
with
three
way too much
together?
no, way too much makeup. Everybody has big giant hair.
Well, you're talking about the Capitol. Like
Yeah.
that's just their style.
I
down
know,
there.
but it's literally like an homage to wearing too much clothes. Okay, you
Well,
overblow
I mean,
that.
just like don't.
Her stupid dress had flames, and she barely spun it
awesome.
around even a little bit, and it was like lighting on fire, and everybody
That's
thought this
because
was
she
amazing.
did.
There was
she was
no
like
reason.
so uncomfortable in
I'm
that
gonna make-
situation.
I'm gonna
She
just
never
twirl-
had been on TV.
That was the
she
most
lived in District 12.
twirl I've ever seen anybody do ever.
She lived in District 12. These people did
It was
not
like
even really
watching a
have
rag doll.
TVs. They were just like workers.
She was
and now
like
she's
a double
on the
amputee.
biggest stage of the
You could have
world.
put her in a wheelchair and she would have been more elegant. Okay, so that being said, as soon as they get to the battlefield, stupid, worthless PETA, who, by the way, when he did his little trial test, wasn't even worth showing because he did nothing impressive and he wouldn't have qualified. So
Well, I never claimed to
we
like
have
PETA.
we have
he sucks.
Katniss with her stupid plot arrows that never miss, of course. So she's Hawkeye.
That's actually not
Amazing.
true. She missed in the trials.
So we get put through this whole thing.
You remember
and
right
then we
before she shot the apple out of the mouth
finally
of the
get to
pig?
the Hunger
She
Games in the
missed.
last
That's why
15
nobody was
minutes
watching her.
of the show. We endure it. PETA immediately gets injured, and we spend half an hour rubbing balm and salve on each other, or what? We spend more time.
It was a love
rubbing
story.
each other down.
It was
with
illustrating
balm
the bond
from
they had between each other.
Mr. Drunky that got what were they, sponsors? To get people to
That's what they're
send balm
called.
to PETA. So they spend 30 minutes of screen time and 15 minutes of actual combat with steel to steel weaponry. Like, there's no way that this. So you call a movie The Hunger Games. That'd be like calling a movie like, Death Race. At least Fast and Furious, which is a terrible movie, promises, look, there's
Calm down
cars
there.
driving around.
Save
What
it.
if there was only 15 minutes of actual car racing in Fast and Furious? You'd be like, this is a wasted Fast
Well, have
and
you seen the
Furious.
seventh one? You're
No, I-
describing it right.
Yeah.
Okay. There-
About 15 minutes of car racing.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
rest is all
And it's-
fighting between Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Vin Diesel.
Okay, so but that's my point, is that you have the Hunger Games, which is literally the premise of the film, is to be young kids get sent out to the middle of a combat zone and hack each other silly. And we have, I think, 2 injuries in the entire movie, and both of them are solved with like Vicks Vapo Rub, and everybody's fine.
I think there was 10 deaths.
Something like
Well, because there
the
was
first one alone.
12 that went in and 2 that came out.
Yeah.
So
all
that'd
of
be
them
10
were
that
off
died.
screen, and then you have the obvious.
This is a family
conspicuously
film.
hot guy who is Thor's brother compared to PETA, who's a potato on a stick, and he's like, "But if I love you enough," he's literally the guy that's been friend zoned, and all he's doing is trying to give literary like credence to the guys just like begging the girl to pay attention to him.
But Peter
until
was
she
never
finally
friend zoned.
does.
It was Gail that was friend zoned.
It was PETA too. She just like stares at him. She was like, "Well, I don't really like you that much."
Peter
But
was never friend zoned.
He was.
He
She
wasn't.
didn't like him.
They barely knew each other.
Yeah, he was just the
Before
bread
they
maker.
went into the Hunger Games arena and like did that thing, he had like a huge crush on her, but she like barely knew him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he barely even knew her too, and he's still obsessed with her.
Yeah.
So he's a stalker. So
Okay, great,
You
but
have
he's not
Katniss
friend-zoned.
Everdeen,
Jeez.
Who?
Yeah, stalking is not friend zone.
No.
Let's get that clear.
Okay. I'm glad. Thank you for clarifying, Jordan. So you have.
Make sure that'll come up again.
Yeah, and literally like poison fog in this movie that like boils your skin.
That was not this movie. That was the next one.
No, the boils come right. The whole series is. You have it give you a boil, like a scab on your skin, and it rinses off without removing any of your skin. Your skin is literally covered in
magic water.
like pus bag maggots all over itself from fog of death, and then you just like dip it in water, and you're like, "Oh, PETA, wash me! Oh my gosh! Oh, thank you." No, it didn't. None of it makes any
Well,
sense, and it never pays
just
itself
so
off.
everyone knows, because obviously Justin doesn't know how this movie actually works. That fog was just hallucination fog. They weren't actually growing boils on their skin. It was just a hallucination. watch the movie.
That wasn't well explained.
Well, maybe you should read the books.
Okay, so
Just kidding. The books suck.
Yeah, thank you.
I've never read them, but I hear they're terrible.
Yeah, we're not talking about books. We're
Yeah,
talking about
well, they're-
movies
they're
that Justin hates.
just
The
all
books are like
books
the
suck
100
in
years.
general.
Everybody go watch Battle Royale because the Hunger Games
That's
is unwatchable
exactly
garbage.
where I knew this was going because he said that Hunger Games didn't have enough violence. I'm like, oh, well, he wants us to watch Battle Royale, which, by the way, there's no English version. How am I supposed to watch this? It's like reading a book with like pictures.
You pretty much could
Ugh.
watch. You could watch Battle Royale without subtitles and know exactly what's going on.
I don't think so. I watched the first 10 minutes without
blind person
because I
knows
hate
what's
reading.
going on.
I just like was watching it. And
But
I
at
was
the
like,
very
what the heck is going on?
at the very least, you're not like, well,
There's
gosh,
like a girl in a cage.
Yeah, but nobody gets out of this movie with just rubbing salve on each other. Like it's a big, giant, actual battle royale where they're
Well, they were
trapped on an
trying to
island and they slaughter
appeal
each other.
to different audiences,
Okay, so
and they obviously
Hunger Games is trying
didn't
to
appeal
appeal
to
to 13-year-old girls
and me.
with post-traumatic stress,
Nope.
and Battle Royale is trying to appeal to moviegoers.
I don't think so.
But that's why Hunger Games is the worst movie ever.
Let's roll back to PETA on this one. You said he wouldn't get qualified.
As
As
yeah,
like-
no, because he goes into the test and she's like, PETA, show them your strength, and then he walks in and it cuts away because he didn't do.
I think he,
Katniss
like-
shot them with an arrow.
He painted a sculpture or something.
She didn't shoot them. She shot an apple out of the pig's mouth.
Okay, PETA did nothing. Like, you know why it cut away from PETA? Because nothing interesting happened, and the writers literally looked at each other like, should we even show anything?
Well, even when he was practicing, it wasn't interesting. He like threw a heavy bag
Sack
kind
of flour.
forward.
He's like, look, I could throw stuff, which
I was
never.
a baker.
All he ever did was get hurt, so his strength never came in to be an advantage ever.
Did
it
he
was
get hurt in every movie?
every movie. All they do is talk about how strong he is, but it never comes to be actually useful to Katniss.
I mean,
He painted
at the
himself.
very end, he does paint himself. But anyway, at the very end of the first movie, I don't know if you remember this. Most people don't. But when those dogs are trying to get him, I don't know if you remember the scene where he jumps down and just like rips all their heads off with his super strength. I mean, that was a pretty gruesome scene.
I don't think that actually happened.
Go watch it again.
That's in the bonus features.
No, it's
On the
No,
Blu-ray.
It's in the,
PETA never pays off his alleged super strength. It's the worst lead-in. It's like them promising that like the superhero has powers. At the very least, Katniss delivered on being an incredible marksman. But PETA is a big giant letdown, and I can't believe she ever liked him. And it's still one of the worst.
and
movies
Gail
ever.
was like so much hotter than PETA.
And girls aren't nice like that.
Who's Gail?
Gail was the guy that she was like best friends with.
Yeah.
Gail was the friend zone man.
In the first movie, when they're in the forest together.
Yeah, and she's like running around with Gail, like, oh yeah, help me shoot this bird, Gail.
Yeah. Oh, I got this quail.
Isn't that Liam?
Gail.
No,
Who's Liam Hemsworth?
who is that? Like an actor's name?
Yeah,
Are we talking about Gail?
Is that Gail?
Is that Gail?
What does Liam Hemsworth look like?
he looks like he's Thor's brother.
Do a Google right now, real quick.
Hang on.
That's
Liam Hemsworth.
yeah. That's Gail.
Yeah, that is Gail.
That's Gail.
That's Gail.
Sorry.
It
Yeah.
says he's partner with Miley Cyrus.
No, Gail.
What?
Yeah,
Wait.
he's dating Miley Cyrus right
Oh
now.
my gosh.
He's 6'3".
Hot off the presses, guys. Liam Hemsworth is dating Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, that's pretty old news. Like they've been together for quite a while. Yeah.
Shows how much I know.
Yeah, you should feel bad.
Pop culture.
That's enough
With
IMDb.
Josiah.
No, so Gail was never friend zoned. Like she always has it in for Gail.
Oh
like,
my gosh,
big time.
he was totally friend zoned like the whole time.
No, the whole
You didn't
movie,
get that?
The whole movie is her having the hots for him.
Well, then why did she like marry PETA and have PETA's babies?
Because the whole point was the tension. Because she actually liked Gail, and then she slowly had to work her way to Gail.
She
but
didn't
then-
actually like Gail. If she actually liked Gail, she would have had his babies.
Yeah.
The
They had
whole
plenty of time
movies
in
is
the-
the progression into liking
But she
PETA.
didn't have his babies.
No, Gail is the conspicuously hot guy that is just the eye candy for the audience, and then PETA is the guy that's like, hey, I really like you.
Oh, he's the Jacob, not the Edward.
Yeah.
Ah, I
Oh.
see.
Jacob
Back
was
to
much
Twilight.
hotter.
Thank you. It's conspicuously Hawkeye.
And P.S. Why do all three of the movies posters look like the same?
Yeah,
It's
I
the
literally
same
can't
movie.
tell. Whenever, again, here, another strike against this one is every time you go to rent any of the movies, you're like, which one is this? Because they all have like the same exact name
Yeah.
and the same exact movie poster.
It's all the same graphic.
It's
Is
this-
literally Katniss Everdeen
And
like,
fire.
two of them. She's literally looking down a bow.
Yeah, you can't tell. It's just like if you pulled in tighter on the first movie poster, you get the second movie poster.
Yeah, that's not even a joke.
Thank you. Here we have Josiah who's defending the movie.
Just the poster.
Yeah, it's literally
posters
you
are terrible.
cannot tell which you end up renting the trilogy every time to watch one movie because none of them
You gotta
have.
put them all in your VHS player. Rewind them all because nobody ever rewinds them before they
None
bring
of
them back
them
to
are different.
Blockbuster. And then play the first 5 minutes. Oh no, that's the second one. Dang, I gotta
It-
play that other one.
It's the poorest example of graphic design ever, where you just have Katniss Everdeen standing.
Well, what do
there
you know
going,
about graphic
"Look,
design?"
Look, I'm burning. I'm on fire. So that again, like
Well, I think that might clue you in to who Katniss Everdeen is. The girl on fire.
it doesn't matter.
I went and saw these movies in the theater,
Whoa,
all three of them in a row,
that sounds
and
terrible.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
That's
it
way
got
too
to
much
the
time
third one.
that's sitting in the same seat.
It got to the third one, and I was like, "Yes, this is the last movie." And then it said, "Yes, Mockingjay,
Part one.
Part 1," and I got so upset. I was like, I thought I was finishing the series.
So what? Speaking of stupid last movies in the series that have a part 1 and part 2, like freaking
The Hobbit.
every movie that's come out in the last 2 years that was more than 2 movies long, they decide, oh yeah, let's make the last book 2 movies. I mean, I kind of get it because the book has a lot more detail in it that you want to. But like, why not make every book 2 movies? That'd be awesome. Except like the first Lord of the Rings, I don't think that could have been any more boring.
No, all we had like an hour and a half of Sam and Frodo telling each other how much they love each other, walking from left to right across the screen. Did you know Peter Jackson literally had them always walk from left to right across the screen?
That's very interesting.
So it always looked like they were heading in the same direction.
It's like Mario.
Yeah. Exactly. That's Mario created the trope of walking from left to right across
pretty
the
good.
screen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have all these movies that got split apart, and you have like Katniss Everdeen, right? The Hunger Games, which isn't good. And they're like, you know what we need to do? We need to split the last book into 2 movies, and not because we're money grubbing whores, but because we can't possibly tell this so intricate, wonderful tale. But you could fit Tolkien's Return of the King into one film with 6 different endings embedded into it, and you didn't have to split that one. And
Well,
then,
I mean, if you watch the extended director's cut of Return of the King, it is as long as watching the entire Harry Potter series.
well, that was intended, but it's still one movie. It's not like they're like part 1 to part 2, part
Well, it
8,
could have been
Return of the King,
8 parts.
part 8.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I think that was
long enough.
before the trend of, hey, let's make some more money.
It would have
Yeah,
had
they
to
were
be
just
on like
making-
10 VHS
Yeah.
tapes.
They were just making 3 movies, 1 per book. Like that's all you get. And then Peter Jackson, who wanted to make 8 movies per book, literally got to create his dream with The Hobbit, and he had made. I think he's made like 16 movies out of that like 100-page novel. So I mean, Peter Jackson, who should have with Lord of the Rings split up the books, went too far in The Hobbit. So now we have Katniss and even movies like Kill Bill that were filmed as one movie, and then he's like, well, I have too much stuff, so let's make money. Like, and Kill Bill 2 is literally too slow to watch for more than 20 minutes because nothing happens, and then she kills Bill. So
Wait, isn't there 3 movies?
yeah, the third one's coming out in like 2018 or something.
Oh, I thought there was already 3 movies.
No, and he swore that he was only making 10 movies total, including Kill Bill 3. So he has like one other original film left, and
Interesting.
then he's retiring.
Who's this?
Quentin Tarantino,
What else has he done?
like Inglorious and True Romance and Reservoir Dogs, and you've literally seen none of his movies. Okay,
Yeah, okay.
I think we might want to tell somebody that there might be some spoilers right now.
We probably should have said that a while ago.
Yeah.
if we were
Oh,
gonna
sorry.
say it.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Yeah,
spoiler
spoiler
alert from the
Yeah,
past.
If you're
Retcon a spoiler alert, guys.
if you're gonna listen to this, you've just heard a whole bunch of spoilers for awful movies. So don't worry too much about it. You're not missing anything.
But
Yeah,
you
and-
should watch all
And
16
speaking
Hobbit
of spoiler
movies.
alerts, I don't even believe in spoiler alerts after it's out of theaters.
It's true.
Once it leaves theaters, you are free to be spoilered.
You know what? I think you get 2 weeks to watch it because if you really wanted to go see it, if you're not in the hospital, then you would have already gone and seen it.
No,
Like-
once it hits DVD, no, you're done.
No, 2 weeks because I'm saying don't spoil it for people the opening night. Like
Oh, man.
nobody.
That's why the guy that said that Han Solo dies got shot.
Yeah, he got
Did he
ki-
really get
was
shot?
he was killed
Yeah.
outside the movie theater.
And
my
he
God.
deserved
walked
it.
outside and said Han dies, and someone killed him.
Yeah.
So I mean that's deserved.
How did
Yeah.
they know it wasn't just like fake? Like
No, it's opening night. Like you cannot.
You can't even joke about it opening night.
they were,
Like,
No.
they could have been joking, and
Nope.
he could have died.
Don't joke. That's not something to be joked about.
That's so serious.
We weren't talking about Batman, Jordan.
And that's why Hunger Games is the worst movie ever.
All right, I guess moving on to Jordan's Single World.
It's like Boy Meets World. But it's my single world.
Yeah, and you know lots about Boy Meets World because you were alive for that.
I was alive for that, but did not have cable.
Because Boy Meets World was on cable, guys.
Only on Nick.
Oh, Boy Meets World was such a great show, and then they released that stupid Girl Meets World.
Girl Meets World.
Oh, it's the worst thing ever.
Just with
Just end the show. Like, just know your arc. Like the Full House rerun. Like they're
Like
they're,
season
what is it,
2's
Fuller
coming up.
House?
Fuller
Yeah,
House.
full-
Yeah, season
there
2.
is-
Isn't it
they're
like a bunch of the
re-released-
same people?
yeah, all
And
of
it's
the
like
unfunny
their
characters
grandkids
that
and
never
stuff?
got famous are all
Is
back
John
to be
Stamos in
unfunny
it?
again. I think he's a producer or something.
But is he in it?
I think he like shows up in like one episode or something.
Okay.
He like says hi. He
that's
waves at
good.
everybody. He
It's
at
like
least
walking the
appeared.
door, like, hey, kids, make sure you're home. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
And it's not like the Olsen twins who literally were asked to be on the show and they were like, sorry, we're too busy designing clothes nobody's ever heard of and doing cocaine to be on your show, which is the only reason we're famous.
Yeah.
So forget you guys. Like, I can't stand the crummy reboots, but having like zero gratitude for where you came from is so like distasteful when people were like, hey, let's not even make an appearance.
Probably the best reboot that I could think of. I don't even know if you could call it a reboot.
Batman,
No.
Star Wars?
Batman's
Superman,
the worst.
Star Wars.
Is that a reboot or a continuation?
It's still the same series.
But
It's
anyway,
not. It's not like a
that's what
new
I was
Luke
saying.
Skywalker.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Go ahead, Josiah. I still think
Limitless,
Star Wars
the
is
movies
like unbelievably
with Bradley
good.
Cooper about the
So
little blue
great.
pill that makes you use 100% of your brain. Because
Limitless, the movie was first before the series.
I'm aware. That's what I'm saying right now.
Are you
What
talking
was it
about
before?
Lucy?
No,
Lucy
Limitless
wasn't-
with Bradley Cooper.
Okay, spoiler alert. Lucy and Limitless are the same movie.
They're different. If you've seen both of them, you would understand how different they are.
I haven't seen either one.
Well, you should watch them because they're both kind of okay. But anyway, Limitless, the movie, real good. Bradley Cooper, amazing actor, love him to death. My brother,
He's okay.
Bradley Cooper. Then they release a TV show years later called Limitless with some guy.
It's not a reboot. It's a sequel.
Well,
Bradley Cooper's in it.
yeah, I know.
He shows up and says like, "Hey, these
I'm
are
the president."
brain drugs." Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
So is the show good?
The show's real good. That's what I'm trying to say.
Better than the movie?
The show, it has, I don't know her freaking name. The girl detective in that show that's like his like buddy girl who she was in Dexter. She was Dexter's sister.
Jennifer Carpenter.
Oh,
Is that
yeah,
is
Dexter's
that a
gross
true
sister.
fact, Jordan? Did
What?
you just?
Yeah, I'm on
Oh
the
my
internet
gosh,
right
you're the
now.
best.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That girl that he just said, not a huge fan of her.
She's really off-putting.
Yeah,
She can't
she's
act.
hard to look at.
Yeah,
and
but-
she never is nice. She's
Yeah,
never like
she's-
sweet. She's always like
the
hard.
like bitter, mean
Yeah,
character.
She
very
did a good
cross.
cop role.
Yeah, real good at being like a mean, hard cop. But
Yeah.
she's like pretending to be his friend in this show.
and she's
I'm
always
not
like
current,
stiff
by
and
the
rigid.
way, but I'm like halfway through season 2 right now.
Somebody text Josiah and ruin it for him.
No, Don't do that.
So Jennifer Carpenter kills it. So does anything interesting happen in the show? We know bad actresses in it. Hooray! You're really selling the show.
yeah, no, but other than that, it's like real good.
Oh, so
Yeah, this guy Brian Finch is the character that like is the smart man's name.
You think they'll
He's-
have another season?
I don't even know.
so is it just like
I don't-
he's
it
using
might
his
still be
smartness to
airing.
solve problems? Does he solve
Yeah,
murders?
so he
what
works,
does he do?
He works for the FBI.
Okay,
Brian Finch. He doesn't work for them. He is a like. Oh gosh, how did he get there? He took a drug that somebody had, and then what's the girl's name, Jordan?
I don't know. Jennifer. something.
We'll call her Jen. Jen sees him with the drug and she chases him and then he gets away and some series of events happens that he gets to like work as a little like contractor guy for the FBI and like help them solve crimes and like find people and stuff.
Oh, this is Monk all over again.
yeah, this is
it's
incredibly
like Monk
formulaic.
or Sherlock or
Elementary.
or
Yeah.
any show with a smart person that helps the cops solve
yeah.
crimes. It's
What-
just done a little differently.
What's the criminal intent or whatever? Where the
Love
guy's like,
Sherlock.
yeah,
oh my gosh.
the guy,
Oh,
the
yeah,
Law and
yeah.
Order, and he's just like too smart, and he's like, "Ugh," every time he has like a super smart idea, he looks like he's gonna
Criminal
fart
Minds.
really
you're
bad.
thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's
No?
Criminal Intent.
Criminal Intent.
I've never seen either of those
The
shows.
the Law and Order spinoff,
Yeah. Criminal
CI.
Intent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but every time so you have the one super smart guy that knows everything but can't have any social skills at all. So this is yet another repackaging of that, where it happens to be based upon taking the super smart drug, I guess.
And then there's the other one.
Criminal Minds.
What is it? With the smart blonde guy, Patrick something.
Patrick Swayze,
I don't know.
Patrick Dempsey.
Dr. Spencer.
Is it Psych? Maybe?
Psych. Oh.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
So
It's-
this
it's
totally
the comedy.
awesome show is
Totally
just
awesome.
another repackaging of this same exact trope that we've seen 100 times.
Yep.
It sounds amazing. You're
Love it.
really overselling it.
Yep. Way better than
I'm
what's
convinced
that
so it's
show
a
I hate?
bad actress and a bad formula that's been played out too many times.
Yep. It's
I want
real
to see
good.
this show now.
Everyone
So we
go
should watch it.
I'm super thirsty for this show.
You should. I love it.
And that's my single life.
How was that Jordan's single? life?
That's Jordan's single.
We
life.
kind of.
is watching way too much TV and Law and Order.
It sounds like Josiah's more single than I am.
No, I watch shows with my wife every night.
That's true.
Yeah, we watch.
That's why I don't watch a lot of shows.
an episode or two of like right now we're watching through Agents of Shield and this season of Survivor and a show called Timeless. Oh my gosh, Timeless is so good. Timeless is a show. I'm not gonna spoil too much because it's like very current. They're on like episode 4, so I'm sure there's a lot of people that aren't current with it. But it is a show about people that there's like a bad guy that stole a time machine and he's going into the past to like change things. And I know that sounds like a lot of different things that have already happened, but as far as I can remember, there isn't too many movies or TV shows where the bad guy that's going into the past to change things is like successful. Usually the good guys stop him before he actually does it. This one, the bad guy's like changing stuff.
How similar is it to, what is it, 11/22/63?
What?
You haven't heard of that?
No.
It's where like James Franco goes back to when Kennedy got shot.
Did he like stop Kennedy from getting shot?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't seen it, but that's the plot.
Justin, you're looking for flash forward.
No, not flash forward, flashback.
Okay, whatever.
There's a show
anyway,
on
I'm still talking
UPN.
about Timeless.
Go ahead.
So, Timeless.
So the bad guy actually
The
changes stuff.
bad guy actually goes back and like changes stuff. Like, I'm going to spoil the first episode. So if anybody has not seen it and wants to, stop listening right now real quick. So the first episode, the bad guys go back and they stop the Hindenburg from blowing up and killing all those people on that day. And then the next day they make it explode, killing a different set of people. And then the good guys, there's a like 2 guys and a girl with the good guy team. They go back, and then like the girl's sister is like gone because she was like never born.
Whoa.
He like changed stuff, but everybody that they went back to, like their bosses and stuff, they like were like, "What do you mean the Hindenburg killed those people?" No, it's always been like that. Like they don't even know that it.
So
changed.
who did it kill?
I don't remember all those details, but it's really good, and they've already hit like so many of the major historical. What word would go there? Good.
Timeline?
Like
I don't know.
like things, major historical things.
Historical events. I
Events.
think.
Thank you.
Events,
There's the
yeah.
word.
When you're trying to actually say something.
Yeah, it helps. It
Yeah.
helps to do.
So they
words
get
good.
to go back in time and actually touch stuff. A fun one that was on like UPN or a crummy station, and it ended in 2001, but it was 7 days, and it was on, and they literally would just flicker back in time in like this sphere. What was the stupid movie where he was in the launcher app and it turned out he was like a quadriplegic in a box or whatever?
I have
You,
no
you-
idea.
you didn't see that one? There was another one where he was
That
like,
doesn't sound familiar.
she
at
was
all.
on a train and then he had to keep going back
Oh,
to save
oh,
her.
oh! Never mind. With James Franco or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. It was James
yeah.
Franco.
Are we talking
Oh,
about
shoot.
another James Franco?
And he had to go. He was like kept getting pushed back in time to go
Yeah.
like find the bomb on the train.
He
and
was
stop
like the
all these
agent.
people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I totally know,
Mhm.
but I have no idea.
Okay, so 7 days is kind of like that, or
Okay.
except instead of just seeing the orb in a launcher app that was being hallucinated into his like sickly brain, they literally had an ex-CIA agent has to warp 7 days back in time and fix all these different problems. So it was like the cop procedural, but with time travel and everything. It was definitely watchable when you're 13 and a half. Like, I totally. It has apparently Jonathan LaPaglia, which has done absolutely nothing since. So go UPN on Wednesday nights at 9.
That's the CW now, I think.
I think so.
No, UPN is.
Oh, that was
Channel
13?
13.
Oh, that's 13.
I actually have a TV antenna, and I watch
It's still going?
like antenna TV.
Huh.
Yep, that still exists.
It's still going.
Yep.
What was the CW? Just the WB?
Yeah, that's Channel 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, but they merged with UPN, and UPN and WB created CW.
Oh,
Which is company you don't even know.
that's
I really
that's
did
where I
not-
was getting those
I
mixed
did
up.
not even know.
Thank you, Justin.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of You Don't Even Know. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. How long is this song?
I don't know.
I'm still looking for the movie.
It seems like you go on pretty long.
Actually, it says right there about 3 minutes and 10 seconds left.
3 minutes.
So,
I'm gonna find it.
It's pretty long.
well, maybe we'll
Hang
find
on.
it. In the-
Imagine a 3 minute and 10-second hug.
Oh my gosh.
Like
that'd
this
be
whole song, you're just hugging someone,
just like
but not even
very
swaying.
just-
Don't sway.
perfectly still hugs.
Yep.
Everybody
Was it
close your eyes.
2012?
Imagine this with us. Just like someone you don't even know. Just like picture a random person. Hug them with your mind. Don't move for 3 minutes.
And this song is just going in your mind.
I can't find it. It's like I'm already down at Pineapple Express. He's done nothing.
So is this man?
James Franco.
No,
Oh, I thought you were
no,
talking
I don't
about
think
Jonathan.
It might not actually be James Franco. It's definitely somebody that looks like him, though.
What was that movie you said?
Type in,
Limitless?
like train bomb time travel.
No, it wasn't Limitless. That one TV series that was really good.
Source Code. Oh my gosh. Source
Oh my
Code.
gosh, Source
yes.
Code. That's
Yep,
what it is.
Terrible movie.
Terrible. Don't see it. The one you're
Good night,
thinking of,
everybody.
Jordan, is
Jake Gyllenhaal.
yeah,
No.
that's the guy's name.
There it is.
What's the Flash Forward?
Flash Forward. That
Yeah,
was
Flash
such a
Forward
good
is
show.
good. We'll talk
Needs
about that
a
next
second
time.
season.
Yeah, if you're listening, producers of Flash Forward, bring it back.
Yeah, totally bring that show back. We want more Flash Forward.
Yeah. If you also want more Flash Forward, go ahead and send an email to producers@flashforwardtvshow.com.
Let's get season 3.
Yep.
2 and 3.
Yeah, both all together. Just Netflix it so we can binge it, please.
We're not talking about the 1996 Flash Forward either.
No. All right, well, good night, everybody.
That's enough hugging.